Have you ever been in the middle of a conversation with your spouse when suddenly they just check out? They're still sitting right there, but emotionally they're 1,000 miles away. Or maybe you are the one who finds yourself saying, fine, just to end the conversation, even though inside you're anything but fine. I'm Todd, your marriage coach, and we're diving into the first of our 5-part series on relationship conflict traps. Today we're talking about the avoidance trap, just withdrawing or avoiding conflict completely. It's one of the most common and damaging patterns in relational conflict. So let's talk about what it looks like, why it happens, and how to break free. The avoidance trap shows up in 3 main ways. First, there's physical withdrawal, literally removing yourself from the conversation by walking away. Then there's emotional withdrawal, where you might physically stay put, but you've checked out mentally. And then there's minimal response, those famous one-word answers like fine or whatever that shut down any meaningful conversation. If your conflicts are never getting resolved, then one or both of you are likely trapped in an avoidance pattern. Think of unresolved conflict like a pressure cooker. You can keep the lid on for a while, but eventually that pressure has to go somewhere. That's why unresolved conflict resurfaces again later, often with more intensity. So why do we do it? Well, one of the most common reasons is simply that we grew up in homes where conflict was either explosively hostile or completely suppressed. If you never witnessed your parents or other adults working through disagreements in a healthy way, how would you even know what that looks like? We repeat what we don't repair. Another reason we do this is trauma from our past. Neuroscience studies have found that we process relationship conflict in the same regions of our brain associated with physical pain and threat detection. So for those who've experienced trauma or PTSD, conflict can literally trigger the brain to go in the fight, flight, or freeze survival mode. So understanding these underlying causes can help us approach the problem with compassion. Avoiding dealing with conflict usually isn't because we don't care, it's because we're overwhelmed. Withdrawing from conflict might seem like a good idea in the moment. I mean, isn't walking away from a fight better than saying something hurtful? But withdrawal doesn't actually prevent conflict. It just postpones it. On top of that, it erodes trust and emotional intimacy. So, how do we break free from this trap? Well, when you feel that impulse to withdraw or shut down, try to, number 1, recognize what's happening. Awareness gives you the power to pause and choose a different response. Second, if you need some space, take what I call a healthy timeout. You could say, I need a moment to gather my thoughts, but I want to continue this conversation in 30 minutes. That's different from avoidance because you're making a commitment to return to the conversation after you've regulated your emotions. So here's an exercise you can try this week to put this into practice. This is what I call the communication weather report. Here's how it works. First, set aside about 10 minutes with your spouse or your mate or your partner where you won't be interrupted. Then take turns describing your current emotional weather. You might be sunny, you're feeling connected and you're very positive about the relationship. Maybe it's partly cloudy, there's some minor tensions. Could be getting stormy where there's some significant disconnection. Or maybe there's a tornado warning. It's crisis mode, get to your safe space, right? And then share what's contributing to your current weather. When your mate shares, stay present and listen without getting defensive. Then each of you share one simple action that could improve your forecast. The beauty of this exercise is that it creates a structured, low-pressure way to check in before small tensions turn into big problems. That's why this is such a great solution to the problem of avoidance. It allows people to deal with issues in a way that doesn't overwhelm their emotions and trigger their instincts to withdraw. Plus, it allows you to practice opening up in a safe context. True intimacy is built in the moments when it would be easier to walk away, but you choose to stay and work through it together. The avoidance trap is powerful because it offers temporary relief. Walking away feels good in the moment, but lasting love requires courage. The courage to stay present even when emotions are running high, and to make yourself vulnerable when every instinct screams to protect yourself. So next time you feel the urge to withdraw, or you notice your partner pulling away, remember, take a breath, recognize the pattern, and make a different choice. Your relationship is worth the effort.